Hey everybody, welcome in. Oh, why is this thing not working again? Let's get this going. Welcome in, WordPress. What's up, everybody? Welcome in. How's the sound on this? I'm experimenting with this mic. We're here. We're in Hollywood. We're live in Hollywood. We're in Kilter Free. Let's adjust this. There we go. See? Now you get it. I'm Kilter Free. There we go. That's what the shirt says. Welcome in. I'm not afraid to give you a little distance here. And welcome. We're here in Hollywood. It's 10:51 in the morning, Pacific Daylight Time. How's the sound on this? I'm working out some technical difficulties. Let me know in the comments. So we're high in Hollywood. We got finally getting some spring weather in here, which is nice. I'm here at Neighborhood Coffee. It's on 3rd Street. It's on the Beverly Hills. It's on the area that where Beverly Hills, Beverly Grove, and West Hollywood. They all sort of meet up. And if you go that way, you're in WeHo. If you go that way, you're in Beverly Grove. If you go that way, Beverly Hills. It's like a Venn diagram of cultures here in this particular area. Is this? Yep. Okay. The mic looks like it's working. The sun is shining. What were you talking about? Oh yeah, on my last one, because the audio got messed up on my last one. I was talking about how great it is to go to mini golf courses in northern Florida. I don't know if you know this, but northern Florida, the Panhandle, it's the mecca of mini golf, and I think we can all agree that's worth being serious about. Mini golf. I mean, in the Panhandle, I just loved it because I went to flight school in Fort Rucker, which is in southern Alabama, and that's the only reason anybody would be in southern Alabama, I guess, unless you're just like marooned there, marooned with Maroon 5. That would be something. But while I was there, I would travel because you go down to Panama City to party, and then you go east or west. There's other little, it's all a bunch of coast there on the Gulf, and along the highway, they have all these like permanent kind of carnival setups where they'll have a mini golf and they'll have one of these dangerous rides or like a multiple dangerous permanent carnival rides and whatever. And I love it because there's really not a lot going along in those sections. But when you drive by, you can be impulsive about going to an amusement park. I like have an impulsive bungee jump. You're like, oh, I wasn't planning on bungee jumping today, but now by the side of the road, there's like an obviously barely well tended bungee jump for $25. Maybe today's the day. And like, but the real hook are the mini golf courses, and they have so many mini golf courses and so many good designs that really I think it's the St. Petersburg of mini golf courses all through the Panhandle, and they're just incredible. I'm an aficionado at this point, and they're mind blowing because most of them are outdoors. You get to know the mini golf course. Some are outdoors. You get a sense that like some of the designers, they were more about the golf aspect of the mini golf, and some of the designers were more about the flights of fancy, the flight of imagination aspect of the mini golf, the different curves, the different characters, the theming. And obviously some of them are just like engaged in stoner thoughts. Oh, well, how far can we take this mini golf concept, on this particular thing? And some most of them are outdoors, but what was cool was I encountered some that were indoors, right? I'm sure you've encountered them where some of them were they built legitimate sound stages on the inside with elaborate themes. I remember one was pirate themed, and you go into these sound stages and there's lighting and animatronics and sound pockets like you get on Disney rides, and you're golfing, you're mini golfing. Really extraordinary. And because you have all these beats that the mini golf courses hit, because I was always impressed with ones that had loops. When you have to hit a ball through a loop, because it's a difficult shot for one, and two, it's difficult for them to design the loop properly so that the ball will go through the loop in a coherent manner. Because sometimes I've golfed on mini golf courses where the loop is not done right, and yeah, that can be a problem. It's frustrating for everybody, and sometimes the ball can ricochet back at you because you're trying to get enough. You try to get enough oomph on the ball to get through the loop, right? But sometimes if you get that much oomph on the ball, it can make it go airborne. And then when you make it go airborne, it can hit the loop not where the ramp begins, but it can hit it like a little bit up, and then come right back at you. I've had that happen a number of times, and I've seen it happen a number of times. And there's probably attorneys in Northern Florida who specialize in mini golf loop ricochet cases, or not, or it's probably just like your SOL because you're doing mini golf in Northern Florida. What do you expect? But yeah, they always have the loop de loop is a good one. I always like sometimes they'll have that telephone pole one that swings over the hole. I'm not a huge fan of that. That one's it's a little lazy design in my opinion. I think they can do better than that. But one of the things I like too is I like the multi-tiered holes. Where you'll have the tee box, you'll have a tee box on one level, and maybe you'll have a selection of holes that lead you to pipes. That you can test it out and see where the pipes lead, the holes lead, which is a little bit cheating. But it's supposed to be more of a blind random hole drop where you put it into one of the holes and then it'll so you'll be at this level and then it'll release on a lower tier, right? And those are always fun because then it takes some of the skill out, just makes it more fun, more sort of lucky. And some of them are like triple tiered. So you'll go from one tee box to the second one, and then you'll have like another selection of holes that goes to a third one. And sometimes, if you choose the wrong hole, it'll put you into basically a penalty area trap, which I like that. I think that's fun. Yeah, and then you have the classic put it into the mouth clown type design hole, and of course, there's always variations on that. There's always different characters whose mouths you're putting it into, which, as I say, it doesn't sound like the cleanest thing, but it is. And what other ones are there? The multi-tiered. Oh, and then there's a variation of hitting into the character's mouth where sometimes there'll be a windmill, right? So you'll have the windmill, which is classic, and you got to get it past the blades of the windmill into the hole. But once you get into the hole, sometimes there'll be variations within the hole. And nice poodle. Yeah, very nice poodle. Uh, Oftentimes there'll be variations on the windmill hole where you get it past the blade of the windmill, but once you get in there, sometimes there'll be like a little drawbridge, like a little bridge, and then on either side will be sort of the penalty areas. But if you get it through the blade, to get through the blade and then over the bridge into the main hole, then that will lead you into either a hole in one or really close to the hole. But if you get onto either side of that little bridge, it'll drop you into a penalty hole that drops you into like a less favorable position down in the putting area, which is that's very serious. These are very serious allegations when you're talking about it. Looking great, ladies. Where's the catwalk? That's all. The so those are the there's a lot of variations on it, right? So you go through, and then like I played some mini golf courses I've played where they have legitimate water features, like in the actual course where you have to hit like a straight shot, and basically there's an AstroTurf bridge that you have to go over, and on either side there's cutouts, and in the cutouts you'll just drop right into the water, like no quarter taken, just good luck. You got to fish your mini golf ball out of there. And then that'll lead down into whatever, like the putting area. And then some have real sand features. I've been in that too, where you can basically go off of it into it. That's frustrating. The water features I think are good for adults, but for kids get really frustrated when they lose their ball in the water because kids, they don't care. They want to jump in the water and it's chaos. Which I'm for. I'm for like chaos, but in terms of mini golf, you want to keep the experience more fluid, I think, than that. So there's that. There's the water feature one. I mean, a lot of them have. Some go for really lengthy holes where you got to really like get it going. You don't know where it's going to be. Another one of the classic designs is where you'll be on the tee box and there'll be sort of a volcano shape, right? So it's a test of like you have to get enough. You have to get just the right touch to get it onto the crater, like on top of a elevated hole, but you can't hit it too hard or you can launch it off, and that's usually the one where you can really tell if people have touch around the green or on those. I like those ones. Sometimes you do have just like jumps. You have like ramp jumps you got to do with them. There's so many ways. I was gonna say there's so many ways to skin a cat, but like that's really a phrase we just need to drop out of the lexicon. Because I think, I had a dream one night. As an aside, I had a dream one night, and a cat came up to me, and there was a knife, and then that was it. I was like that. I was like, why? I was like, I can no longer use this phrase to skin. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Look, dude, guys, there's not even one good way to skin a cat. Can we just get that? Can we just agree on that? There's not even one good way to skin a cat. That's illegal. It's unethical. There's no anesthesia. They never say, oh, one of the good ways to skin a cat is you give the cat anesthesia and then you skin the cat. No. And who was like the first person to be like, oh, there's more than one way? And you're like, dude, I didn't know there was one way to skin a cat. That's not good, right? Anyway, so that dream I had where the cat showed up and the knife, no more cat skinning. Just saying. That was out the window from now on. So back to the mini golf holes. I said, you get these flows, you get the multi-tiered, you get the skilled shots, you get the hazards available, you get the loop-de-loop, the telephone logs, the random holes. By the time you're getting to the end of this thing, you're like, what's going on here? This is not normal golf. I knew they said mini golf, they said putt-putt. I knew it was going to look weird, but now I'm like really questioning my golf acumen because now here I've been out here and what am I doing? And then there's always the last hole, right? And that's where they really put the signature on the mini golf course, right? I mean, you've gone through presumably a theme. Like before we finished the finishing hole, so we have all these like technical holes, these beats, these mini golf hole tropes of like these particular types of holes, and I'm probably missing some. So if you want to like inform me as to which of the mini golf holes I'm forgetting about, feel free. This is important. This is important stuff, folks. Feel free to let me know which mini golf holes I'm missing for the typical designs. But on top of it, the theme, right? The theme of the mini golf course, which is something in Northern Florida. You don't understand how many different mini golf courses are in Northern Florida in a very small radius. So many. It is a cornucopia of mini golf courses, and it's beautiful because the designs are great and vibrant and fun. But the theming really becomes like the key issue, right? I remember I played one golf course that was dinosaur themed. That was fun. There were all these obviously sort of like backyard homemade in the 60s dinosaurs. They were sort of like paper mache meets concrete. And it was just a whole course filled with dinosaur stuff, and it was fun. Was it the best course? No. But was obviously very memorable. What's another good one? Oh, the pirate themed one was good. Generally mini golf courses, I'd say the standard theme of mini golf course is just colorful, fun, sort of circusy, sort of surreal. That's sort of the baseline mini golf, right? And then what else? Oh, I did a laser one. I did one that was in a laser. It was a sound stage and it had lasers and light shows and stuff. And I think it was like sci-fi space. Oh, it was like alien sci-fi space golf, mini golf. That was fun. But the themes are fun. But they're typically secondary to whatever how the layout is. I mean, one of the ones I really like are just the normal. They build a fake mountain complex, and then the all the holes go around sort of the artificial mountain. I really like those. Those are fun, and then because they add character and nooks and crannies, and you get elevation changes. And because for proper mini golf, you need elevation changes. Let's be clear on one point with the mini golf commission. You need elevation changes for proper mini golf. Um, Obviously, mini golf 101, right? 101. Uh, and then the tunes, if they bring in tunes, that's good. And then, of course, you always finish up with the 18th hole. And then the 18th hole, if it's a reputable course, if it's a good course, it will give you some sort of chance to hit the ball into a bullseye to win either a prize or another round. And those are fun how they design those, because sometimes a lot of times they just go with the skee ball design where they'll have rings that you have to hit the ball into and you get certain prizes. But sometimes they'll vary off that design and give you different kinds of skill shots or luck shots or whatever to try to win stuff. Some will set off a bell and a light or a siren. Some will get you arrested. That's weird. They won't. They don't. That was a joke. But it's a great way to finish the course. And then it's just like, it's an amazing experience because you've gone through this whole surreal experience of knocking your ball around, and it's completely obliterated your normal view of golf. And then by the time you get to the 18th hole, in case there are any questions about, did I just golf a real round or was this a mini golf round? You get to the 18th hole and you get this weird carnival shot gratis. There's no doubt that you have not played a real golf round. You have definitely played miniature golf. And the Northern Florida Panhandle just has this the best. It's the best, and I love you, and nobody can tell me otherwise. And if you get a chance to do some mini golfing, I highly recommend you do. All right, everybody. Been high here in Hollywood, talking about mini golf. Much love to everybody, and I will catch you later.